I remember the day I realized my children no longer respected me. It hit me like a ton of bricks. Their eyes no longer sparkled with admiration when they looked at me. It wasn't the first time they had disagreed with me, but it was the first time I saw them dismiss my opinions, ignore my advice, and not even bother to listen when I spoke. And for a while, I thought maybe this was just a phase. But then, I knew something had changed. If you're a senior, and you've ever felt this way with your children, stay with me. Because today, I'm going to share 6 powerful ways to regain your respect and restore harmony in your family. I'm sure you've been there too. You've raised them, nurtured them, guided them, and yet now, they roll their eyes when you speak or dismiss your advice as if you were a stranger. It's painful. It feels like the bond you once had is slipping through your fingers, and you wonder, where did I go wrong? Have you noticed your relationship with your children shifting? Maybe you've tried talking to them, but it feels like they just don't care anymore. The harder you try, the more distant they become. It's not just about losing their respect. It's about losing the closeness, the understanding, the connection you once shared. But I'm here to tell you this. It doesn't have to be this way. It's never too late to rebuild the respect and love that once defined your family. Yes, it's challenging, and yes, it requires patience and effort, but you can do it. I've learned, over the years, that there are ways to regain respect, and today, I'm going to share those with you. 1. Set boundaries and stick to them. As we age, it can sometimes feel like we've earned the right to relax and let certain things slide. After all, we've raised our children, worked hard, and lived through decades of life experience. It can be tempting to think that as we get older, we deserve a little leeway, maybe even from our kids. But in reality, setting healthy boundaries becomes even more crucial as we age, especially when it comes to maintaining mutual respect in our relationships. Many people, particularly seniors, often overlook the importance of clear boundaries, thinking that after all these years, they don't need to assert themselves as much. However, without boundaries, relationships can become imbalanced, and respect can easily fade. It's easy for your children to take advantage of your kindness and generosity if they aren't aware of what you need and expect. If they start to see you as someone who simply goes along with whatever they want, it can undermine the respect they have for you. The key to regaining their respect lies in making sure your boundaries are clear, firm, and consistent. This means you need to communicate openly about what you are comfortable with and what you're not. Whether it's about your personal space, your time, or your values, being clear about your needs is essential. Don't assume they'll just understand or know how you feel. Be direct. For instance, if you need time for yourself or don't want to be disturbed during certain hours, tell them. If you have certain routines or habits that are important to you, make sure they understand and respect them. If they tend to drop by without warning or impose on your schedule, let them know that while you love seeing them, you need to plan and have your own time too. Boundaries aren't about being rigid or unyielding. It's about maintaining healthy respect for your own needs while still allowing space for love and connection. When your children understand and respect your boundaries, they will see you as someone who knows their worth, someone who values their time and energy. They will respect you more because they can see that you're treating yourself with the dignity and attention that you deserve. It's also essential that once you set these boundaries, you stick to them. If you waver or let things slide, your children may start to feel like they can push your limits again. Consistency is key. If you've established that you need your space, don't let them guilt trip you into giving it up every time. If you've asked for respect when it comes to certain topics or behaviors, don't let anyone cross those lines, even when it feels uncomfortable to enforce. Remember, setting boundaries is not about pushing your children away. It's about teaching them how to respect you as an individual, not just as their parent. You've spent years taking care of them. Now it's time to show them how to care for you in return. Setting boundaries is a powerful way to rebuild that foundation of respect and strengthen your relationship with them for years to come. 2. Be a good listener. One of the most powerful ways to regain respect from your children is by becoming a better listener. As parents, it's easy to fall into the trap of always being the one who gives advice, offers solutions, and shares life lessons. After all, we've lived through so much, and we want to help guide them through their own challenges. But sometimes we get so caught up in offering advice that we forget to truly listen to what they're saying. Listening isn't just about hearing the words they say. It's about paying attention to their feelings, their frustrations, and their thoughts. When your children feel heard, they feel valued. And when they feel valued, respect starts to blossom again. If you're constantly speaking over them or assuming you know best, they may start to feel like their opinions don't matter. And that can lead to frustration and a breakdown in respect. True listening requires patience. It means setting aside your own thoughts and judgments for a moment and giving your child the space to express themselves. Whether they're talking about a tough situation at work, a relationship struggle, or just venting about their day, you have to resist the urge to jump in with advice right away. Instead, focus on what they're saying, validate their emotions, and ask thoughtful questions to show you're engaged in their experience. For example, if your child is expressing concerns about a decision they've made, instead of immediately telling them what to do, try asking them how they feel about it or what their options are. This shifts the dynamic from a parent-child hierarchy to a more equal, respectful conversation. It shows that you value their ability to make decisions and that you're interested in their perspective. It's also important to listen without interrupting or offering solutions unless they ask for them. Many times, your children might just need someone to hear them out rather than someone to fix their problems. When you show that you can be a sounding board without judgment or unsolicited advice, it creates an atmosphere of trust and mutual respect. It also teaches them the value of listening, which is something they can apply in their own relationships. Being a good listener isn't just about listening to the words. It's about being present, reading between the lines, and understanding their emotions. It's about giving them the space to be heard and showing empathy for what they're going through. When your children see you as someone who values their voice, they're more likely to respect your thoughts, feelings, and boundaries in return. Respect is a two-way street. And when you actively listen to your children, you not only show them respect, but you also build the foundation for them to do the same for you. It's a simple yet powerful way to heal and strengthen the bond between you, ensuring that both sides feel heard, understood, and respected. 3. Don't demand respect, earn it. Respect is not something that can be forced or demanded. It's not a right that automatically comes with age or position. In fact, demanding respect can often have the opposite effect. It can push people away and create a divide. Instead of demanding respect, focus on earning it through your actions, attitude, and the way you treat others. One of the most common mistakes we make as parents or elders is assuming that respect should be given to us simply because we've lived longer or because we hold a position of authority. But respect is something that must be earned over time through consistent actions, not something that can be handed out just because we ask for it. Earning respect requires demonstrating qualities that others admire and look up to. Patience is key. When you take the time to listen and show understanding, people are more likely to respect you. If you react impulsively or get frustrated easily, it can cause others, especially your children, to feel disrespected or undervalued. Instead, practice patience in your interactions with them, no matter how challenging the situation may be. Self-discipline also plays a crucial role in earning respect. It's easy to slip into bad habits as we age, whether it's neglecting our health, failing to follow through on commitments, or letting emotions dictate our actions. But when you lead by example, showing that you can discipline yourself and keep promises, it earns the respect of others. Your children are more likely to look up to you and follow your example when they see you practicing what you preach. Understanding is another powerful trait that helps to earn respect. Your children, especially as they grow older, will face their own challenges and make decisions that you might not agree with. However, if you approach these situations with empathy and a willingness to understand their point of view, rather than judging or criticizing, you'll build mutual respect. This doesn't mean you have to agree with everything they do, but by showing that you can see things from their perspective, you strengthen the bond of respect between you. Leading by example is perhaps the most powerful way to earn respect. Actions always speak louder than words. When you show respect for others, it creates a ripple effect. If you want your children to respect you, you must first show respect to them, to others, and to yourself. Whether it's respecting their opinions, valuing their time, or maintaining your own dignity, these actions set a standard for the kind of respect you wish to receive in return. Instead of demanding respect, focus on becoming the person who naturally commands it. Demonstrate the qualities of respect: patience, understanding, self-discipline, and empathy. Led by example, and over time, you'll see your children not only respecting you more, but also becoming more respectful individuals in their own lives. Respect is not something that can be forced, but something that is built and nurtured through consistent actions. 4. Speak with confidence, not arrogance. One of the most important ways to regain respect is by communicating effectively. How we speak to others, especially our children, can have a significant impact on how they perceive us. Many times, we lose respect because we fail to communicate clearly or confidently, often resorting to raising our voices or becoming defensive. These actions can create tension and distance in our relationships, rather than fostering understanding. When we raise our voices or act defensive, it can send a message that we're not secure in our position or our perspective. Instead of demanding respect through forceful words or an authoritarian tone, it's much more effective to communicate with confidence. Speaking confidently doesn't mean being loud or overbearing. It means expressing your thoughts, needs, and concerns with clarity and calmness. Confidence in communication shows others that you are sure of yourself and your values. It sets a tone of respect and assertiveness without being aggressive. When you speak confidently, you demonstrate that you are in control of your emotions and thoughts. Your children will recognize this steadiness and will be more likely to respond respectfully in return. It shows them that you're worthy of being listened to, and they will begin to value your wisdom more. But there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. Arrogance is about placing yourself above others, often disregarding their feelings or opinions. When we speak with arrogance, we put others down either consciously or unconsciously and make them feel inferior. This is a sure way to lose respect. On the other hand, confidence is about asserting your own views while acknowledging the dignity of others. It involves listening, being open to different perspectives, and respecting the views of others, even if you don't always agree with them. To speak with confidence, take a moment before responding to gather your thoughts. Think about what you want to communicate and how best to express it. Avoid reacting impulsively or out of frustration. When you approach conversations with a clear mind and a calm demeanor, you will naturally project confidence. Your tone of voice will be steady, your words will be thoughtful, and your children will perceive you as wise and balanced. Confidence also involves being honest about your feelings and needs. It's important to express your thoughts directly, without being passive or aggressive. For instance, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," you might say, "I feel unheard when I'm speaking, and it's important to me that we have open communication." This approach not only shows confidence, but also opens the door for constructive dialogue. Lastly, remember that speaking with confidence also means being willing to admit when you don't have all the answers. It's okay to say, "I'm not sure, but I'll find out," or "let's figure this out together." This vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, but rather an indication of self-assurance and trust in the process of learning and growing together. By speaking with confidence, not arrogance, you show your children that you value yourself, your needs, and your relationship with them. It's a powerful way to regain respect and strengthen your bond, and over time, they will begin to recognize and appreciate the wisdom you offer. 5. Show empathy and understanding. One of the most effective ways to regain respect is by showing empathy and understanding towards your children. It's easy to get frustrated when we feel like our children aren't listening or respecting us, but it's important to remember that they are individuals with their own lives, challenges, and stresses. As much as we may want them to prioritize our needs or perspectives, we must recognize that they are also navigating their own complex experiences. Children, especially as they grow older, often face pressures we may not fully understand. They could be dealing with work stress, relationship issues, financial concerns, or personal doubts. Sometimes, they may not even know how to express these struggles. When we fail to acknowledge their difficulties, it can feel like we are invalidating their experiences, which can lead to a breakdown in communication and respect. Empathy is the ability to put ourselves in someone else's shoes and truly understand their feelings and perspectives. When we show empathy, we demonstrate that we see our children as more than just extensions of ourselves. We recognize them as individuals with their own needs, struggles, and goals. This creates an environment where respect is built on mutual understanding, rather than authority or expectation. By taking the time to listen and validate their emotions, we can deepen our connection with our children. Instead of offering advice or solutions right away, we can start by asking questions and really listening to their answers. Let them know that you understand the challenges they face. For example, instead of saying, "You should just get over it," try, "I can see this is really tough for you. What do you think would help?" This shows your children that you are not just waiting for your turn to speak, but that you truly care about what they're going through. It's also essential to be patient. Sometimes, our children may not open up right away, and that's okay. Let them know that you're there for them whenever they're ready to talk. Don't push them to share if they're not ready, but let them feel your presence and understanding. This patience will show them that you respect their space while still offering support. Empathy also means acknowledging that your children might not always agree with your choices, beliefs, or opinions. It's easy to become defensive when they challenge our views, but instead of arguing, try to see where they're coming from. Ask open-ended questions like, "What makes you feel that way?" Or, "Can you explain why you think that?" This opens up a dialogue based on understanding, rather than a one-sided conversation where you're just trying to convince them of your perspective. When your children feel understood, they are much more likely to respect your perspective. They will see that you value them as individuals, and this fosters an atmosphere of mutual respect. It's important to remember that respect is a two-way street. By showing empathy and understanding, you're not only helping them to feel valued, but also teaching them the importance of these qualities in their own relationships. Ultimately, empathy helps bridge the gap between generations. As we show understanding toward our children's struggles, they will begin to see us not just as parents, but as people who have lived through challenges and have valuable wisdom to share. This connection, built on understanding, patience, and empathy, will lead to the respect you desire and deserve. 6. Be a role model in your actions, not just words. One of the most powerful ways to regain respect from your children is by being a role model in your actions, not just your words. We often expect respect to be given to us simply because of our age or position as parents. However, respect is something that is earned through consistent actions, not just demands or lectures. As parents, we sometimes forget that our children are watching us closely. They observe how we behave, how we handle stress, and how we interact with others. The way we treat people around us, including our partners, friends, and even strangers, is a reflection of the respect we expect in return. If we want our children to treat us with kindness, patience, and understanding, we must show them these same qualities in our own behavior. For example, if you want your children to be dependable, it's important to demonstrate dependability yourself. If you commit to something, follow through on it. Whether it's attending a family gathering, helping with a task, or simply being present when they need you, showing that you can be relied upon goes a long way in building mutual respect. Honesty is another key quality that must be demonstrated through your actions. Children can quickly sense when there is a lack of authenticity. If we want them to trust us and be open with us, we must be honest with them, even when it's difficult. This doesn't mean sharing everything, but it does mean being open about our feelings and intentions. For example, if we make a mistake, admitting it and showing them how to take responsibility is far more effective than brushing it under the rug. Actions of honesty show our children that it's okay to be imperfect and that acknowledging mistakes is a sign of strength, not weakness. Love is one of the most basic yet most powerful ways we can show respect through actions. It's not enough to simply say, "I love you," without demonstrating it through our behavior. Love is shown through the little things: a warm hug, a thoughtful gesture, or taking the time to listen. If your children see that you love them through your actions, they will be more likely to reciprocate that love and respect in return. In addition to these, patience and self-control are vital behaviors to model. When we stay calm during a disagreement or remain composed in stressful situations, we set an example for our children on how to manage their own emotions. If we react impulsively or with anger, we send the message that it's acceptable to respond with frustration or hostility when things don't go our way. But when we practice patience and self-discipline, we show our children how to handle situations respectfully, even when emotions are running high. Ultimately, actions speak louder than words. If we want our children to respect us, we need to be the kind of people who deserve respect. By being dependable, honest, loving, and patient, we set an example that our children are likely to mirror. Over time, this modeling of respectful behavior creates a strong foundation of mutual respect, where both parties treat each other with dignity and understanding. Regaining respect from your children may take time, but it's worth every moment of effort. Remember, it's never too late to make a change. You've spent a lifetime building relationships, and with these 6 powerful steps, you can restore the respect and love that you deserve. If you've experienced a similar struggle with your children, don't give up. Try implementing these steps tonight and watch how your relationship transforms. Share this video with someone you think might need it. Let's work together to bring back respect in our families, no matter what age we are. And if you've been through this yourself, share your story with us in the comments below. Let's learn from each other because we're all in this together. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more senior health and relationship tips. Your journey toward regaining respect starts here.